So in today's video, we're going to be looking at the new Indulgence bed chair from Nash, and this is the All Season SS3 wide. I've also got a couple of accessories like the bed buddy and the very welcome Indulgence heated blanket. Let's jump into the video and see what you think. Now, as we all know, it's hard to find a better sleep system on the market than an Indulgence sleep system. I've got one myself, I know Joe's got one as well, and we love them. We can't be without them. So when a new version came along, obviously we had to have a look at it. And when it is the newest version of one of the best bed chairs out there, it's going to be good, isn't it? And first impressions, yeah, it's typical Indulgence sort of fashion, really comfortable, really well built, really kind of decent materials. And something new with this one is a new camo pattern as well, which is really noticeable. So it's nice to have a new pattern that stands out from the rest. It's one of them patterns that is instantly recognizable, and straight away you know that it's an Indulgence product. But obviously, being a new version, there are a few differences between this one and the one that I've got, and luckily there are a few things that are very similar, because some things you just don't want to change. But one of the first differences I've noticed is where this is an all-season product, instead of either a 4 or a 5 season, you've only got one cover, which is actually quite a nice thing, because like I say, where it's all season, it's going to cope with all seasons. So you don't need to be worrying and thinking, oh, it's starting to get a little bit warmer, do I swap it around, do I use just kind of the single layer, or am I going to get a bit cold if I do swap it? With this, you know that it's going to cope with pretty much everything it throws at it. Now, that's not saying that in minus 20 degrees it's going to be warm enough, but on the whole, it is built to deal with UK seasons. Now, if you do get a little bit cold, that's where the heated blanket comes in, and we'll come onto that in a little bit. But like I say, it's really nice just knowing that you've got just a sleep system that's going to cope year round. Now, as you'd expect with an Indulgence sleep system, one of the main selling points of this is the foam mattress. And it's one of them things that you've really got to experience to know what I'm talking about. But as soon as you sit down on it, you feel yourself slowly sinking into it, and you just know, you can feel it oozes comfort. I guess that's why they call it the Indulgence, isn't it? But it really is something you've got to test out to know exactly what I'm talking about. But it is super comfortable. It's made from a high density foam, so it's made from really good quality foam. And it's just a really comfortable bed chair. You know you're going to get a good night's sleep from it. So that's something that with the Indulgence range has been there from the start. It's all about comfort. It's also kept some of the new features of the previous versions. So on the underside of the bed chair, there's a little pocket where you can put your power pack and then connect it up, and then another connection on the top where you can just plug your cable into it and then just charge your phone or your devices that way. So it's really nice, instead of just having your power pack out the front, cables everywhere, tripping over them when you get a bite in the night. Keeps everything nice and tidy. You don't have to worry. Again, that's where the heated blanket can come in, because your power pack's tucked out the way, so you're not going to have loads of cables everywhere. You've also got all the features you'd expect of a high-end bed chair. So you've got anti-snag zips, so obviously it's not going to catch on anything. If you do get a bite in the middle of the night, you can just simply rip it open. They're kind of almost like quick release sort of zip, so you can get out nice and quickly, and you're not going to get stuck in it as well, because you've got a nice nylon material on the bottom of the cover, and then it's almost like just a really fine fleece on the bottom. So the combination of those two means that you're not going to get all wrapped up in it and caught up. Nice and easy to get out, but also when it comes to sleeping, it's nice and easy to kind of roll around and move. You don't feel like you're getting trapped, and you won't feel claustrophobic in it. So it's really nice in that sense. I'll just zip this back up. There's so many handy little features. Just on the side here, you've got a clip. So that clip is on both sides. So that just means that obviously you'd unclip it if this is the side you're facing, this is the side you need to get out of, but then the back side remains clipped. So again, overnight you don't end up unzipping bits and it just being a mess. Just little things like that make a big difference, and it's not until you're actually using it a lot that you realise how much of a difference them sort of things make. Again, you've got little pockets for if you want your phone just stored in a pocket, or your receiver or something like that. just to keep everything tidy, keep everything organised. You've also got a little flap of material, which might look a bit insignificant, but it's actually really important and does a really good job. So it basically just stops any cold air getting through the zips. Now, it doesn't sound like much of a problem, but when you are fishing in the depths of winter and you've got a cold wind coming in, it really does make a difference. Now, I've noticed that on my MF60, which I've got, and yeah, it's also on this model as well. But alongside that, on the inside, you've also got these baffles. So the combination of both of them makes sure that you keep all the heat in and you're not losing any heat through the zips, basically. You've got full lumbar support on the bottom. You've got mud feet, which are obviously maneuverable, so that it will, if you're on uneven ground, it will just level out nice and easily. But they're also extendable as well. So again, if you're on uneven ground, all you've got to do is push the little clip and they will shoot out to find exactly where is level. So another area that Nash don't fall short is when it comes to the different options that you can have with it. Now, like I say, I have got the wide SS3 with me today, but there's all sorts of different options available. So you can get a compact one. So if you want just a really lightweight bed chair that's really comfortable, then the compact is great for quick overnighters. You've got the SS3 standard and wide, SS4 standard, wide and Emperor. Basically the main difference between the SS3 and 4 are the amount of legs. So the 3 has 3 legs, as this one does, and the 4 has 4 legs. So yeah, loads of different options. The Emperor is obviously the biggest one of the lot, which is great if either you're a bigger guy or if you go with a partner regularly. Then if you're a bit smaller, then both of you will probably fit in it. So there's loads of different options. And the nice thing about these over the MF60s is they're a little bit lighter, but you don't really sacrifice much comfort. So if you've looked at the MF60, really liked the comfort, but found it a little bit too heavy, then the All Season is definitely worth looking at. So that's pretty much the bed chair summed up. So if we move on to accessories now, first up, we've got the Bed Buddy, which is a really handy addition to any bed chair. It doesn't have to be this specific one. It will fit over any bed chair, but it is really useful because the amount of times you're sat in your bivvy, maybe time rigs or something, you're hunched over and it's really uncomfortable, or even just sitting there looking out on the water, you're sitting like this, it gets uncomfortable after a while. But with something like this, you can lean back properly and it's a lot more comfortable. And if you're on the bank a lot, it'll make a big difference. It's completely adjustable when it comes to back support because on either side, you've got a couple of buckles, which simply unclip, but you can also adjust them. So if you wanted it to really lean back, then you can put it right back and then that will completely fold down. But you can basically work it out to find a level that suits you. So something like that, then it's nice and comfortable. If you want to lean back a little bit more, all you've got to do is let a little bit of the buckle off and then you can lean right back. But like I say, something like that makes it nice and comfortable, really does help over the course of a long session, or like I say, if you're on the bank a lot. Now it's super lightweight as well, and it fits both a standard and a wide bed chair. There's a couple of clips at the back, which means you can extend it out. So yeah, really useful product, but it can be used as a guest chair as well, where you don't have to bring a complete chair. It's really useful. So like I said, it can be used in a few different ways. So that is the Bed Buddy, and we'll move on to the heated blanket now, which it might look nice and sunny and it is getting warmer, but those of you that have been out on the bank recently will know that temperatures still drop at night. So we're getting quite a nice hot days, and then at night it's dropping to kind of 3, 4, 5 degrees, which is noticeable. So something like the heated blanket is really useful because you can plug it in just before you're getting into bed, or even in the mornings when you're waking up and it's a bit cold and there's a bit of a chill about, just simply switch it on and it will heat up nice and quickly. So the nice thing with these is obviously they are built to match these bed chairs. So they're the perfect size. I'll just take this out. You get a massive instruction book, but it's in a nice little case. And yeah, like I say, simply take it out and you've got toggles all the way around this. So the idea being, these toggles correlate to these little fasteners. So It keeps everything nice and tight onto the bed chair, onto the base of it. So it's almost, you don't even know that it's there.
Where do we go from here? Don't let it rule you.
So I've just attached a blanket to the bed chair, and like I say, it uses the toggles that are all around the bed chair. And the nice thing about it is you can still use more than just this blanket on them toggles. So if you wanted the mattress protector, for example, on top of this heated blanket, then that will still attach to the same toggles. It doesn't mean you've got to make a compromise and choose just one thing. You can almost use it like a layering system where you can stack up different layers. So you can easily use the blanket and the mattress protector, and then you have your sleep system on top. So that's all installed. There's a little hood that goes over the top end to keep that in place, and then yeah, it just toggles all the way around. So to use it, all you need is a power pack with a cigarette lighter. Simply plug that in place, and then you can cycle through 4 different options. Now I've turned it onto the first mode, which is kind of like a rapid heating mode. So it heats it up really quickly, and then over the course of 2 hours will gently cool down. So that's really good if you're, like I said, heating up the bed before getting in it, so you can get it nice and hot, and then once you're actually in it, it will cool down and then finally switch off. So you warm yourself up, but you're not wasting too much battery. Now you can have it on full whack continuously if you want to, or there's a couple of different sleeping modes as well. So you can have it on a sleeping mode that has a higher intensity or a lower intensity. So if it is middle of winter and you just want to keep the chill off it, then just have it on the low sleeping mode, and that will run throughout the whole night. So loads of different options. Like I say, it doesn't even feel like it's on it. So it literally just replaces a base layer of the sleep system, and you wouldn't know unless you know, if that makes sense. So from the feel of it, you've got 2 heating elements that run from side to side. So it's not just little patches spread throughout, it is fully across. So you've got one down here, probably around where your calves would be, or even just down to the top of your feet. So that'll heat up the foot end, and then you've got another one that will come across your chest as well. So they're pretty decent sized heating elements. So if you're the sort of person that has bad circulation, if your feet always get cold, then this will really solve that problem. And yeah, I think this it's a bit of a game changer. I think if you're fishing right through the winter, really will make a difference. So there you go. That is the heated Indulgence blanket, which I'm quite keen on. I'm very tempted to get myself one. But if you want to find out any more information about these products, if you want the ins and outs, the tech spec, then head over to the Nash website, because there's stacks of information on there. Obviously, if you like this sort of content, then make sure you subscribe to us and follow us on all our various social media channels. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.